regarding MECE, it's a principle actually that was invented. Yeah, it was a principle that was introduced by McKinsey, and what it means is MECE means mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive. Basically, that means, okay, you can say the lights or they are off. They cannot both be on and off. That is mutually exclusive. It's either on or off. And then it's collectively exhaustive. That means that there are no other flavors than on and off. Right? So why do we use MECE? Is actually to create a logical tree. Like, for example, if you are making workflows in an organization, it helps you to map an organization. For example, if we want to make a decision, we can say, okay, basically we produce three goods, A, B, and C. So that the goods, if we have three options, we can collect A, B, and C. So that is collectively exhaustive. It makes you focus on actually including all the elements. Now, there are some criticisms on MECE, and I read a lot of those criticisms yesterday. It's rather esoteric, and it's actually I would say it is a little bit philosophical. But the criticisms are, for example, if we talk about okay, so collectively on or off. So lights are on or off, but then one of the criticisms is, okay, but what if there is no lights? So that there is a then the MECE principle doesn't apply anymore, and sometimes it's not necessary that two choices are necessary opposites. Like, for example, if you want to improve the results of your company, then you can either increase revenue or reduce costs. But these are not necessarily in conflict with each other. They are both valid options, but at the same time, they are not mutually exclusive. So they can actually reinforce each other to achieve the same goal. So that means that not always it's necessary, even desirable, for alternatives to be mutually exclusive. And it's not always true that, for example, that we don't need redundancy, like collectively exhaustive. But sometimes we would like more. Like, for example, in my soccer team, in my soccer club, I need a team with MECE skills. MECE skill sets, but that's not necessarily true, because actually I would like for all my players to have excellent passing skills, for example. So it can be redundant as well. So what the critics say about MECE is that, okay, MECE is not MECE itself. It's not mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. It is actually, and that is, I think, a valid conclusion. It is it's a handy tool in consulting, but rule number one is that common sense should be applied first. So when is it useful to do so, and when is it better not to apply MECE, or at least refine MECE so that it is workable in that particular situation.
So it means too much include over too much.
So basically it's more like, okay, so we have this very handy pocket knife. It can do a lot of things. It can cut. It can open cans. It can do many things. But then people might claim that, oh, this pocket knife can do anything you want to do. Well, it can do almost anything, but not everything. So it is a very convenient pocket knife, but don't try to use it when you want to write a letter. That's basically the point.
It's kind of.
But I think that there is nobody who, in this right mind, who would actually try to use a pocket knife to write a letter. So that's what it means. Use common sense when applying MECE principles.
It means overlapping and sort of thing, right?
Right. So if you say, okay, this you can use this pocket knife for anything, then people could argue that's not true because you cannot write with it. Okay, then don't write with it. But doesn't mean that you should throw away the pocket knife. That's my point.
Yeah, you said soccer team. What does this mean? Example.
Oh well, actually, sometimes I want to be something that is mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. That means that, for example, I want MECE skill sets in my soccer team. So I have 11 players, and I could say, okay, if for good soccer performance, I need to have good passing skills, good heading skills, good running skills. So we could argue that if MECE would always apply, that means that I can have one player that is an excellent runner, one player that is an excellent goalkeeper. I have one person who can excellent pass with his left foot, the other with his right foot. So once I have all these skill sets together, then my soccer team should be complete. But that's not necessarily true, because I actually want to have these skills maybe in each and every one of the players. So that means that it's not it's not exhaustive, actually.
Not everyone.
Right. So and actually, I would prefer to have good passing skills in all of my players. That means that basically adding it as a skill will not. A skill is not exhaustive, because you can never have enough of these skills.
Oh, this is different from Japanese English. Okay. So, question?
Well, I was not very impressed with the English page on.
Yeah, the content is different Japanese from Japanese and English. It's interesting. Okay.
Right.
MECE.